Biomed Nexus. Daily updates, your essential biotech, medtech, and pharma recap. No noise, just what matters. Executive takeaway last week was defined by regulatory milestones and market reality checks. The FDA approved Ascendis Pharma's YUVIWEL, navepegritide, the second achondroplasia therapy and first once-weekly option on Friday, granting a coveted rare pediatric disease priority review voucher. Meanwhile, Generate Biomedicine's highly anticipated 400 meters IPO stumbled on debut, closing down 21% as AI biotech hype met market skepticism. The regulatory momentum from Wednesday's record 44-day zongertinib approval continues to reshape expectations for the CNPV pilot. Read full analysis, what to watch. This week, Ascendis investor call today, 8 a.m. ET. Management will discuss the YUVIWEL commercialization strategy and competitive positioning against BioMarin's Voxzogo. BMS Sotyktu decision, March 6th. The FDA will rule on deucravacitinib's label expansion to psoriatic arthritis, PSA. If approved, it becomes the first TYK2 inhibitor for PSA, a significant competitive differentiator against JAK inhibitors. Rhythm Imcivree decision, March 20th. Rhythm Pharmaceuticals awaits a ruling on expanding Imcivree into acquired hypothalamic obesity, potentially opening a 5,000-1,000 patient U.S. market. Friday's top story: FDA approves YUVIWEL for achondroplasia, grants PRV. What happened? The FDA granted accelerated approval to Ascendis Pharma's YUVIWEL, navepegritide, the first and only once-weekly treatment for children aged 2+ with achondroplasia and open epiphyses. Why it matters? YUVIWEL is only the second FDA-approved therapy for achondroplasia, joining BioMarin's daily Voxzogo. Crucially, the approval included a rare pediatric disease priority review voucher, PRV, worth an estimated $150 million. Executive impact: the weekly dosing convenience and clinical data showing benefits beyond linear growth, muscle strength, leg bowing, body proportionality, position YUVIWEL as a potential share taker from Voxzogo's 650+ annual franchise. Commercial availability is expected in early Q2 2026 week-in. Review key highlights: oncology and rare disease, zongertinib, Hernexios. The FDA granted accelerated approval in a record 44 days under the CNPV pilot for HER2-mutant NSCLC. The 76% ORR in treatment-naive patients establishes a new benchmark for the national priority voucher era. Systimune.BMS reported positive phase 3 top-line results for Izobren EGFR x HER3 bispecific ADC. It is the first bispecific ADC to report dual positive PFS and OS results in TNBC. BioMarin, Roctavian, officially pulled its hemophilia A gene therapy from the market after failing to find a buyer, taking a $240 million charge. A cautionary tale for gene therapy commercialization. Clinical and research updates: TG Therapeutics, Brimvi, published 5-year data in JAMA Neurology, showing sustained efficacy in relapsing MS. Separately, 6-year ECTRIMS data showed 89.9% of patients remain disability progression-free, supporting 2026 revenue guidance of $875 to $900 million. Rocket Pharmaceuticals reiterated its Phase 2 trial of RP-A501 for Danon disease is on track to resume dosing in 1H 2026 at a recalibrated dose. Pfizer, Astellas, PADCV plus Keytruda, reported positive Phase 3 EV304 results in cisplatin-eligible muscle-invasive bladder cancer. Perioperative enfortumab vedotin plus pembrolizumab showed a 47% reduction in recurrence to death risk versus standard neoadjuvant chemo, with 79.4% of patients event-free at 2 years. Signal, combined with the EV303 data in cisplatin-ineligible patients, this positions PADCEV plus Keytruda as a potential new standard of care across all MIBC patients, regardless of cisplatin eligibility. Regulatory filing expected. Corporate development: Generate Biomedicines, IPO. Priced a 400 members IPO at 16 share on Wednesday, but opened below the IPO price and closed Friday at 12.65, 21%. The week debut reflects market skepticism toward AI biotech valuations lacking near-term clinical catalysts. Viatris, restructuring. Announced a 10% global workforce reduction, 3,200 jobs, over 3 years to save $600 million and $700 annually. Sarepta Therapeutics. CEO Doug Ingram announced his retirement by year-end, creating a leadership vacuum at a critical commercial juncture. Policy and Public Health Senate Rare Disease. Hearing, lawmakers criticized FDA bureaucratic bottlenecks that persist despite the new accelerated pilot programs. MDUFA 6 negotiations. Fresh documents reveal a deep divide between the FDA and the medtech industry over TAP 2.0 expansion and 2027 fee structures. FDA Commissioner defends rare disease. Rejections. Commissioner Marty Makary defended the agency's approach to rare disease approvals in a CNBC interview Thursday, appearing to reference a gene therapy involving drilling a burr hole with no observed benefit. Investors interpreted the comments as targeting Unicor's AMT 130, Huntington's disease, sending shares down 30%. Unicor reports Q4 earnings Monday, with a regulatory update expected. Signal. The remarks underscore continued FDA skepticism toward invasive gene therapies relying on external control data, a cautionary signal for the broader CGT sector navigating accelerated approval pathways. CDC ACIP meeting. Reset. The delayed vaccine meeting has been rescheduled to March 18-19. Read, full analysis, Biomed Nexus Pro. Institutional Intelligence Brief. In today's Pro Brief, the YUVIWEL competitive playbook, how Ascendis plans to take share from Voxzogo, and why weekly dosing may not be enough. Generates reality check. Moment, what the 21% IPO drop signals for AI biotech valuations in 2026. PRV market dynamics. With voucher supply rising, we model the pricing implications for Ascendis and other recent PRV recipients. March PDUFA preview, risk, reward, framing for BMS Sotyktu, Rhythm Imcivree, and Rocket Kresladi. Upgrade to Pro today. Read, full article. Selective 2026 sponsorship placements are available. Reply directly to discuss a partnership or submit an inquiry here.